currently have a glove over my microphone on my phone because of how windy it is. So for the past 3 years I've been on antidepressants, and I'm almost at the end of coming off of them. So it's been quite a strange time, really. This year in particular has been pretty intense in terms of life stuff. But that's for another video. But I'm almost off my antidepressants, and I can feel the sparks of creativity coming back after months of burnout and not wanting to do anything musical, or if I wanted to do something, it was the most basic of tasks. You know, just sitting with the guitar in my lounge and, you know, just fiddling about with some chords or some scales, and that was it. I could barely write a song or a piece of music or anything really. And now that I've had months of having a break, I left my job as well, and have just kind of had a time out really. And yeah, but now that I'm feeling those sparks of creativity coming back again, after my brain is slowly realigning itself, readjusting to how I was 3 years ago. Granted, 3 years ago I was also in the pits of despair. So, but anyway, it just made me think about why be creative in a world that really does not want you to do anything creative. You know, the passive encouragement from all of the systems in the world that are just telling you to just get a real job. You know, let the dream be a dream. Just give up and clock in, you know. And with being, you know, out of work and also not really doing much freelance stuff, and having to look for a job that I just won't hate and want to give up, I've come to the realization that all I think about is music. Even when I'm not actively creating it, I would still listen intensely, listen really, like, emotionally as well, like that big emotional movement that only music seems to do, to me anyway. I don't know, but just, it is all I can think about all the time. And I've been applying to apprenticeships because I don't have any trade skills, because I did a music degree and have just been kind of doing other bits and pieces. But, like, you know, it comes to looking for a job and you're like, oh, don't have any skills. What can I you know, I need to earn some money. What the hell do I do? And so, you know, I've been applying to apprenticeships for plumbing and being a chef and being a gardener as well. That was a big one. And just a few days ago I was like, all I want to do is music. All I want to do is just be creative, and I can't not do that. And so I've applied to do a master's degree in composition, which I know the meme of music graduates running towards a postgraduate course because it takes them out of unemployment. But I don't care. It's what I need to do in order to just be happy. And yeah. So I've just been thinking about, like, why be creative when so many other things don't want you to be creative? And the answer that I feel like I've come to is because you have to be. Because if you're not creative, what is this all for? If you're not going to make something, what's the point of all of this around us? Where every single thing that has been made has been because someone at some point decided that this needs to be made, and this needs to be created. It is important that this is created and organised and thought through. And so the conclusion that I've reached is that if you want to make something, you just have to do it. You just have to really be like, I don't care what the world thinks. I don't care that there's no money in being an artist or a musician. You know, I need to create something in order to fulfill that desire in me. And that is worth it. And that's valuable. Look at this. I'll always be amazed at pylons, because it's like someone made this. A group of humans got together and made this happen. It's like, how do you even do that? Wouldn't even know where to begin. I also think there's a certain comfort in kind of accepting that you can't change the world, or at least not in the massive ways that it probably needs to be changed. But you can change the world through small acts of just, I don't know, whatever. But just like taking the pressure off of, I need to do these massive grand gestures, and that's what will change the world. And just accepting that it's okay to just survive. It's okay to use the tools that have been given to you as best as you can to just survive in the world that we've built, especially as a creative, because you have especially if you're starting out. You've got no money, you've got no power to make the radical changes that perhaps are needed. You know, everyone who is not a flipping audiophile will use Spotify, and I feel like, you know, there's so much ethical dilemmas that can happen with being a creative, but it's like it stops you from actually making something. It stops you from releasing something. It stops people from hearing what you have to say. And I've been coming to terms with that. For my own needs, it is worth just making something and putting it out there on whatever platform that people have access to. Because that's just the world that we've created. And it is important to try and change that in small ways. I think the point that I'm trying to make is that you can sell your soul and live in the woods and you know, become a recluse, which is fine. If you want to do that, go for it. But I think for the vast majority of people, and for me especially, the joy of creating an art is the community that it builds and being able to share it with people. To me, the most important thing about art is someone else gets to see it. And I feel like if other people don't get to see what you've made, it's like you're missing the other half of the creative process. I don't quite know what that's called, but that's just how I feel inside. And I feel like, yes, it is absolutely terrible that the world has made it so that earning money as an artist and a creative is next to impossible unless you have a fleet of managers, promoters, agents, producers, engineers at your fingertips. And if you don't have that, all you've got is community. That's all you've got, you know. And I feel like you have to be open to that. You have to want to create a community of like-minded people and artists, because those are the people that are going to support you. Those are the people that are going to donate. They're going to want to be a part of your artwork and your creative process. And I think that's something that I want to try and do through whatever means possible. And I'll probably try a few different things, see what works, see what doesn't. But I feel like the most important thing is just making something and putting it out there. And I feel that, as I was saying at the beginning, of like the sparks of life are coming back after not really feeling like I'm able to actually make anything, or just that my brain is too fuzzy to actually focus. And so, yeah, I hope that I can make music and that it can be valuable not only to me but also to other people, and that other people feel like their art is worth making. Because what else have we got?